that gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run. Probing now early to try and get things done later. Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Rob Ninkovich from his outside linebacker spot. He comes up to drop him for a loss of 10. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And it's 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Okay, partners, New England comes out here to take the field on offense. This is such an interesting story, how they've been able to do it year after year after year. Guys talk about parity in the NFL. Well, New England has kind of transcended that parity, and they've done it with guys that you don't normally think of as household names.
The parts keep changing for New England. That's the amazing part on offense, all right? Offensive linemen change, receivers change, running backs change. We know the one constant is Tom Brady, and that's a huge deal for them. But to be able to do it in what you call the parity times, and you're exactly right, everyone's supposed to be pretty equal. New England still a top 10 offense year in and year out. In 2016, they were number 4, and that helped them with a number 1 ranked defense as well. You know, some teams use the running game just to bludgeon people. I think that Brady to Gronk does the exact same thing for them. Long, short, medium, they know how to connect.
In ways that sort of revolutionized the quarterback-tight end relationship. They can go, as you told me before, they go medium, they can go short, they go long.
And the way that Gronk is used, he's not just a tight end. Oftentimes they'll put him on the backside of formation as the single wide receiver, and he runs routes exactly that way.
Last year for Edelman, just below 100 receptions, 98, over 1,100 yards, 3 touchdowns. And, you know, this is a guy that gets a lot of pub for being that perfect receiver for Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. What's his role going forward?
I think his role going forward is to be a bona fide number 1 receiver in the NFL, meaning he's not just a Tom Brady receiver. He's that guy for anyone. And he spent so much time proving himself as he got into the league, just what you were talking about. Can I have a role here with New England? Now it's not just proving himself. It's continuing to develop in his craft. And I think he's going to just keep getting better and better. He never gave up on himself in his dreams, and he doesn't give up on any single play. And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Brady gives now to Blount. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up. Second and goal. Defense digging in again here. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2. Now third down. Both the run and pass still in play here on third and goal from the 3. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
35, 20, 20,
Brady going to go on fourth down. This will be caught at about the 5. They're turned away on fourth and goal. And the Falcons able to muster together a goal line stand. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football. Comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. On second down, Freeman. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with third and just a yard.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On third down, Devontae Freeman. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. Here's Matt Bosher now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out-leveraging the offense.
Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. but you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence, not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. They'll run it here with Blunt. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive linemen, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
And Gronkowski's got it, complete over the middle. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A nice gain of 21 yards.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
1st and goal from the 1 as they look to... And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Dion Lewis with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Patriots add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. Here's Eric Weems now on the return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jabal Sheard in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On 2nd down, Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Over 1,400 yards last year for Jones. Just 6 touchdowns, but, you know, of course he had the big 300-yard game. However, when he was blanketed with coverage, he always opens things up for other guys, doesn't he?
He does, and that's what's benefited Atlanta's offense. Other guys were able to step up. In 2016, Mohamed Sanu stepped up and had his best year as a pro. Austin Hooper, as a young tight end, really developed down the stretch. And Taylor Gabriel, who had come over as a free agent from Cleveland, he really flourished, actually led the team in touchdown catches. But there's only one Julio Jones, and you want to get the ball to him as much as possible.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
And there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Now Ryan on second down. The left side completion to Jones. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And if they want to keep this drive alive, they'll need 8 yards here on third down.
Well, there really wasn't much there, but a completion is a completion. A tough third down awaits them.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
He'll return it from the 6. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Now Brady throwing on second down. And that'll be incomplete. Looking for his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. And now it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. From the gun on third down, Brady. To the right side, and he's got Edelman. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. And right side, caught, Hogan. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down there, just 1 yard.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And incomplete, a disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now fourth down. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They do go for it. It's Brady. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. Third down here.
And there's a good opportunity to just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
From the gun on third down, Ryan. He was looking for his tight end, Jacob Tamme there. And that brings up fourth down. The Falcons will call on Matt Bryant for the field goal try. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And the kick for the 41-year-old is up and good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, at least they won't take a goose egg into intermission as they do carve out 3 points here in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
Yeah, it hasn't really been the greatest of first halves. They've looked out of sync, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But a field goal here at least gives them some momentum as we tick down toward halftime.
Now here's the Falcons defense getting set to go again. A crew that got the stop last time led to 3 points. Well, that was good, but they're probably thinking, hey, we'll get you the stop again offense. You get us a touchdown here.
Just add to the points total, right? But the defense has to have a ton of confidence. Someone goes for it against you on their own side of the 50. No. Stuff them, turn over the offense, and you're right. They'll take 3 on the first time. If they do it again, though, they expect a touchdown.
Yeah, well, first they've got to do it. Let's see if they can. Now Brady. On the slant, he gets it to Gronkowski. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
Brandon, with the way things are going with Tom Brady finding Gronk as many times as he has in this game and the team is winning, you think at some point maybe even Brady will do the Gronk dance?
Well, if he does that Gronk dance, Davis, that means you have to do that Gronk dance.
Trust me, partner, no one wants to see me do the Gronk dance.
Your wife?
No one.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
52. 220.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. And pump the brakes, Larry. Pump the brakes. We are ready for quarter number 3. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Danny Amendola on the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A good pickup there at 22. And really just a heck of a catch. That's a really good receiver making a nice play.
And against a really good defensive back. Right there together, and over the top, the receiver wins the battle.
The throw left side complete to Hogan. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Danny Amendola, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots continue to roll. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
Devin McCourty brings him down. So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guy,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jabal Sheard. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
This is fielded at the 7. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. So the Patriots coming out now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
This is complete to guess who? Gronkowski again. It's a gain of 7, and they're going to have a 3rd down. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination.
He's got a man, complete. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
We saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
26 yards on the pickup there. And it'll give the Patriots a 1st down. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who can make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
White 20! White 20!
Here's Blunt. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Here's Brady. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Martellus Bennett from 6 yards away. And the Patriots are pouring it on. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
The point after try for Gostkowski. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And here comes Rob Gronkowski and company. So after he looked really good early, they haven't been able to find the big tight end as much. What gives?
Well, sometimes that's not in the game plan defensively. They're trying to take away other people, or they weren't expecting him to get off to such a hot start. But now, they know he's out there. They've made a few adjustments, surrounded him with a few more people, a few different coverages. Let's see if he makes the adjustments now. Does he change up a few things to try and work his way open?
A big play there for the Patriots. 37 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
From midfield, here's Brady. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. second down now after the incompletion. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
To throw is Brady. Trying for Edelman again. This time he's got it. All the way in. Touchdown, New England. Julian Edelman, 39 yards. And the Patriots continue to roll.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
And that's caught inside the 35. They get 31 yards that time. And it'll be first down Atlanta. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him. And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
To throw again is Ryan. That's caught at the 1. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Now 3rd down and goal from the 1. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. Back now in Foxborough. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And Bryant's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here.
I think the defenders have to feel pretty good, even though the ball was tipped in the air and could have become a big play for the offense. They actually won one because the guy flinging it today, he's having quite the performance. A couple of touchdown passes, almost threw his first interception, but he's throwing it so well, I think Lady Luck was on his side.
The wideout Chris Hogan, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Got a man, it's Amendola, and he's brought down after a good game. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Under pressure, he's going to go down. Look at this, way back around the 43. Tyson Jackson continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Now Blunt. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
So it'll be first down here after the run.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. LeGarrette Blunt, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Patriots are pouring it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing too.
No, she's singing.
She's on like the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out come the Falcons now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. And complete on the right side. It's Tammy. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for him.
And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. It's the Pro Bowler Jamie Collins that makes the stop.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
He was hoping to get that one to Tevin Coleman in space, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete.
Whoosh.
And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. A gain of 32 that time.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
They come out here in the eye. They go play action here on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football? I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick, but able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
To the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Call it a gain of 3. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Atlanta now. Coming out on the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who says there's a signal down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
And his pass incomplete. Danny Amendola, the man he was trying to get it to. And it's 2nd down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on 1st down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on 1st down. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Well, it was stopped on that play. We had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. The left side completion to Jones. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Chris Long in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will. I After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it, trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
They come out here in the eye. Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. And complete on the right side to Bennett. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. So the offense has it 1st and 10. So they're on that play. Offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now it's Ryan. And Tammy with it over the middle. The 40. And all the way down to the 37. A big-time play there for the Falcons. And even 50 yards. And they're going to speed things up here. Here's Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Brian hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now, to put someone back deep.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Brady going to look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. this will likely be the last play and wrap things up. They come up in an offset eye. Brady will try again on second down. Going deep here for Edelman. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up.